Magandang araw mga kapigi! Alam nyo ba na dapat nating pinaghahandaan ang pagbabago ng panahon para mapanatiling maayos ang lagay ng ating mga alagang baboy? Ano-ano nga ba mga dapat nating tandaan at paghandaan tuwing tag-araw at tag-ulan? Kung tag-init, asahan natin ang kaso ng heat stress o heat stroke, dehydration, skin disease tulad ng mange at grease pigs disease, at kung may overstocking naman, prone din ang mga ito sa pneumonia.
Tulad sa tao, kailangang maayos ang daloy ng hangin at nakagagalaw ng ayos sa mga ito. Isalang-alang ang proper ventilation at stocking density sa farm. Tuwing tag-init, bumababa ang feed consumption ng mga ito, kaya siguraduhin na may sapat na inumin ng mga baboy. Kung may sinyales ng pagkahingal, maaaring masain ng batok ng baboy o kaya naman ay paliguan ng mga patabaing baboy sa umaga.
Paano naman kung tag-ulan? Kung tag-ulan, common naman ang diarrhea, ubo at sipon, pneumonia at lagnat.
Para sa biik, siguraduhin tama ang temperatura ng brooder. Maghanda rin ng mga beddings para sa biik tulad ng dayami, basahan at mga ekstrang bumbilya at saksakan. Maglagay ng habong sa gilid ng mga kulungan, lalo na sa farrowing pens, nursery pens, at grower or finisher buildings upang magsilbing panakip tuwing tag-ulan. Bago magtag-ulan, kailangang napatibay na ang mga bubong at siguraduhin na hindi mababasa ang feeds at mga gamit sa bodega.
Tag-araw man o tag-ulan, kailangang I am farmer ready.
Nais mong magsanay sa pagbababuyan. Bagong teknolohiya, bagong pagsasanay, ay DCPH sa iyo ay gagabay. Kami handang tumulong, maiangat ang buhay. Bawat Pilipino, pag-asa'y bigyang kulay. LGU, kooperatiba at mga magsasaka, di lang sa Pilipinas, maging sa ibang bansa. IDCPH, ikaw, ako, tayo. IDCPH, kasama mo sa tumasa pa ang iyong galing. Tsak na mas lamang ka saan man makarating. ITCPH, ikaw, ako, tayo. ITCPH, kasama mo sa pag-asenso. Tamang facilities and trainings, prinsipyong learning by doing. ITCPH, your home away from home. Your home away from home. Gusto mong mas lumawak ang karunungan? Halika tara na, tayo na sa babuyan. Madali lang para maintindihan, learning by doing ang paraan. Kaya ano bang hinihintay? Waste management at saka AI. Maraming trainings, pili ka na. Nag-iisa yan sa buong Asia. Basta tungkol sa alagang baboy, matututo at mag-e-enjoy. Hitik na hitik sa kaalaman, ITCPH number 1. ITCPH, ikaw, ako, tayo. ITCPH, kasama mo sa pag-asenso. Tamang facilities and trainings, prinsipyong learning by doing. ITCPH, your home away from home. Your home away from home. ITCPH, your home away from home.
Mahalagang karneng baboy ay sariwa, mas masarap at malinis pa. Kaya ating ang karneng baboy na sariling atin. Bawat kilong binibili mo, ito ay tulong mo sa kapwa mo Pilipino. Kaya sama-sama tayo, Pinoy pork ang paborito ko. Let's eat Pinoy pork, ang fresh, mas malinis, mas masarap ang sariwa. Choose to only buy Pinoy pork. Laking tulong ito sa ekonomiya at sa kabuhayan ng Pinoy. Let's eat Pinoy pork.
Hello everyone! This is an example of a processed board cement which we sell here at the ITCPH Business Center. For only 230 pesos, you'll get a dose of cement from Quality Boards. Also, it comes with a free catheter. And this is Manong George, and he's in charge of the AI Business Center. This is Sir Ermi, who checks the quality of cement. Here at the ITCPH, we have technical experts who can help you all the way from trainings up to technical assistance.
Hi, I'm Francis. I train bore, collect and process cement, here at Swine Laboratory for more than 30 years.
Be trained the ITCPH way and try AI dahil walang aray
sa AI!
Okay, good afternoon everyone and welcome to the first webinar for this year po, 2026. I see familiar names and faces po. So welcome po sa ating mga suki ng ating webinar and of course, sa mga ngayon lang po a-attend at bagong nakakaalam ng ating webinar. Ayan, sana po maging suki din namin kayo because for this year po, we will have 20 episodes. Ayan. Kindly turn off lang po yung ating mga sounds po natin dyan, yung ating mga mic para po tayo ay mas magkaintindihan dito. Okay? So again, welcome po for this webinar. And hi everyone, hi Sir Roberto. Ayan may mga may message dito sa ating chat. Hello po, good afternoon. Ayan. Okay, so for this year's topic po, we have our Internet of Pigs, swine digitalization towards smart pig farming. Ayan. So, for 20 episodes po, iisa-isahin po natin yung mga topic under the Internet of Pigs. Handa na po ba ang lahat ngayong hapon para makinig sa ating webinar? Can I see thumbs up from our ayan. Masunurin. Biro lang po. Maraming salamat po for participating with our webinar. Kaya naman, to formally start our webinar po, we will be playing our national anthem and prayer po by our audio-visual presentation.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas. Kayang magiliw, ewas ng silanganan, alam ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, kuya ka ng magiting, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisingil, sa nanagang tutok sa simoy at sa langit mo pagaw, ay hinatang tulad, awit sa pagkayang minamahal. Ang isang ng atawad mo'y tagumpay na nag-iindig, ang bituin at araw niya kailan pamay di magtitingin. Luha ng araw ng walhagin pagsingka, buhay langit sa piling ko. Ang inigaya ng pagkay mga amin, at mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Let us put ourselves in the presence of the Lord. Dear Father, we thank you for everyone gathered here now. Thank you that you know each of us by name and have caused us to walk with you. We say that we are dependent on you and our trust is in you completely. As we surrender ourselves in adoration, we welcome you amongst us today and celebrate the gift of life that you have lavished upon each of us. We ask that you would open our ears so that we may hear your voice. Open our minds so that we may receive your eternal wisdom. Open our spirits so that we may know your leading and guidance. And open our hearts so that we may receive your wonderful love. Lord, we thank you for the speakers and facilitators. We pray that you would give them great inspiration as they share with us what you have placed on their heart. We pray that you would fill them with courage and give them your peace. We ask all this in the glorious name of Jesus. Amen.
Okay po, so after our prayer and after our opening preliminaries po, we will now proceed po sa some reminders and intro to what we will be having for this afternoon session po. Okay, so kasama po natin dito sa ating webinar, nandyan po si Sir Jeric to assist us in every technical matters po na meron tayo. Okay, Sir Jeric, pasuyo ako. Ayan. So there are some reminders lang po. Lalo na for those who are in our Facebook page po na live, kasi we are naka-live stream po tayo. If you registered po, kindly check your email po kasi meron kayong Zoom link doon. Kasi kagaya po ng nakita nyo sa ating mga reminders or rules, all those po na nasa Zoom link lamang and nakapag-evaluate po ang mabibigyan natin ng certificate. Paano daw naman po yung mga nasa Facebook? Next time po, register po tayo para makasama po tayo sa pagbibigay ng ating certificate. Okay po ba yon? Ayan, so ready na po ba ang lahat para sa ngayong session po natin? Ayan, okay. I see thumbs up and hearts po dyan. Ready na rin po ba yung ating mga nasa Facebook page? Yes po. Nakatutok din po ako dito and ayan po, good afternoon po sa inyong lahat. Okay po? So to start po, our webinar session this afternoon, kagaya po ng ang topic po natin is Foundation of Internet of Pigs. At ang atin pong RP ay ipapakilala ko na po sa inyo. Ayan, so our RP po, Sir, kaway ka dyan sa loob. Nandito na naman po sa loob yung ating RP, okay? So, ayan, nasa Zoom na po siya. So, papakilala ko na po sa inyo. We have our resource person po for this afternoon, graduated at the University of the Philippines, Los Baños, Laguna, with Bachelor of Science in Forestry. Ayan. And currently po ay may specialization siya in precision agriculture using Internet of Things and bioinformatics. Kasama rin po sa kanyang specialization ang artificial intelligence and machine learning and data science. Siya rin po ang tumatayong Chief Scientific and Technology Officer ng KE Tech Solutions Incorporated. Kasamahan po natin sa pagbibigay po ng ating webinar ngayong hapon si Mr. Jose Carlos Sia. Good afternoon, sir, and you have the floor po for our discussion ngayong hapon.
Maraming salamat po, Rain. Naririnig po ba ako ng lahat?
Yes po, rinig ka namin, sir.
Gandang hapon po at nagpapasalamat po kami sa ITCPH sa dito at sa partnerships collaborating together. So, may salamat po kay Root, staff, and Lane for moving this isang working bangko ito para sa ating agrikultura. Meron po akong slide na isi-share. Ito lang po muna. Share ng screen. Let's see. Saan po kaya akong share? Please let me know po kung nakikita po yung screen ko.
Yes, sir. Kita po ang inyong slide.
Alright. Yan, sige. So, let me just set my screen now dito. Alright, so magandang hapon. So, the title of the discussion is Foundation of Connected Livestock Management. This module evolved from last year that we collaborated with ITCPH, provided training on foundation Internet of Things, Internet of Things, and interconnected livestock management or first YMS. So, this is a more evolved version, and I'm going to start with going to the next page. Nagpailalan ako kanina. Gandang hapon po sa lahat ng dito. So, I'm gonna talk about the challenges first in the traditional farming method. No, most traditional farming relies on heavily on physical labor or any expensive work. So, well, that experience is valuable, you know, business scale well. The operations grow or the conditions change quickly. So, that's traditional farming point, right? Check. So, there's another, no, many decisions today are still based on intuition rather than data. So this leads to inefficiencies, no, in feeding, in ventilation, even if we talk about disease prevention. So lagi tayong parang uulan bukas or masama yata ng panahon, so laging intuition siya. Other than meron tayong information na kailangan ng bukas ko, kailangan ng So, ideally, nakikita natin yung lahat ng response natin ay reactive siya. Nangyayari niya or hindi siya reactive, nahuhuli. Okay? So, we would like to go away from that, no? Naging day-to-day decisions natin. So, another is unpredictability ng climate, no? So, the plants pressure, the heat stress, the humidity spikes, no, the sudden weather changes. So that adds mortality risk sa maraming bagay, even sa feeding, consumption, ang daming affected ng biglang climate. So there's also a very long technology gap, you know, wide technology gap many farms either they lack access to tools or given proper tools to identify issues, to respond to this, to even have proper data or reports on what's happening in the farm. So that's something na medyo gusto natin i-build sa this webinar will be a six series focused on technology that would resolve or provide a different solution, a working solution for this pain points. So there will be more webinars from ITCPH after that. For the technology part, this will be a six-part webinar. So today is so we will focus on the technology part. We'll move on to the next slide. Um, so what is the solution that we propose, no, in partnership with ITCPH and Internet of Things, no, where it is into complexity. So the daming solution yan, very complex, no? It is about visibility and consistency. So how visible is the system? Etc. Sensors collect real-time data and templates for humidity, no, feeding patterns, and animal activity. So that data is a central system where it can be monitored. And so kung marami kang mga bubuyan, marami kang mga houses, etc., makikita mo ang lahat ng pangyayari sa isang dashboard lang. So we try to put the design like that in the and we will go through each of that component later. No? So there are also times that artificial intelligence is used for carefully, no? Only after the data is reliable. No? So may mga research tayo na we already have reliable data, so we are using the artificial intelligence to do some of the decisions. It's still in we'll focus on the devices of this webinar. Just mentioning the holistic solution that we have, no? So the system is modular, meaning you can expand anytime, you can process anytime, no? So it would be easier for expansion, scaling, upscaling, and downscaling. And it can be installed in existing farms, no? With one. So that's the good thing of the architecture. Don't worry about the terms that I'm using right now. It's naiintindihan po natin siya. So we are used on
Sir
the part.
Carlo, if I may interrupt po, medyo malabo lang daw po yung inyong audio from marami pong nag-message lang dito.
Malabo. Wait lang po.
Opo, medyo mahina lang daw po dito. Audio, meron lang maraming kanina po kasi ay ilan lang, pero ngayon po ay madaming nagme-message sa ating meeting chat. Can
I'll
experience daw po dito
move on to another device.
Ayan daw po talaga pag live, may mga technical na kailangan po tayong ayusin. Pero yan, so para po mas malinaw of course, yung ating paliwanagan. Okay.
Hello. Is that better?
Yes sir, much better for me. Mas malinaw din sir.
Okay, sige. Nagpalit ako sa wired, no?
Ayan. Thank you, sir. Okay po. Sige po, mas malinaw na po. We could continue with our discussion, sir. Maraming salamat, Sir Carlo.
You're welcome. And salamat po for reminding. So I'll go back to the first part, no? So these are the challenges. We listed the challenges and we discuss about the KETech solution, no? We have a sensor that collects data and you can go directly to your mobile phone, no? So the system is modular and it can scale down, it can scale up. So it depends. So after that, let's discuss the 6-day training roadmap, no, for the technology. As I mentioned earlier, there would be more from ITCPH, but from the technology perspective for the foundations of connected livestock management, it would be a 6-day training, no, 6 sessions actually. So this is the foundation of Internet of Pigs. So for day 1 and 2, no, sensor science. So we learn about the foundational of sensor science. We learn the sensors' behavior, how they fail, and how placements affects accuracy. No, in day 3 and 4, we focus on data and connectivity. So paano nagko-connect yung mga sensor na yon? This is where we discuss how information moves from the barn to dashboard and decision makers, no? So papunta na sa inyo. For day 5 and 6, no, it's focused on applications and mapping, meaning ano yung mga gagamitin nyo ng mga application, papunta sa mga devices. We connect barn conditions to real operational decisions na. So ito yung mga, halimbawa, gagawa kayo ng decision na automatic na tuwing 5 a.m. ay mag-turn off ang mga utility lights or something like that. So sa day 5 natin yon and day 6 pag-uusapan. More on practical applications na talaga. So I'll move on to the next, no? We'll focus on the day 1, foundation of sensor science, Internet of Pigs, no? Swine operation, no? We faces increasing pressure in improving, no, in efficiency. So kailangan nating magkaroon ng mga sistema diyan. So para sa sustainability, sa animal welfare, at napakaraming reasons. So yung mapag-uusapan natin. Pag-uusapan din natin yung digital tools, no? We offer a scalable way to manage these pressures, no? But only if they are understood correctly. So technology comes always in 2 phases, no? If you don't understand it correctly and you apply it in a wrong or in a different manner as how is it supposed to be applied, then it could gain a different yield. So we have to understand it correctly. Today, you will also learn how sensors work in real barn environments, no, not laboratory conditions. We have an operational barn, and these data that or information that we are sharing is based on production environment. And this session is designed for mostly agricultural professionals, no, veterinarians, farm technicians, agri-tech, swine raisers, no, business people, IT professionals, and we include the IT professionals here because with this digitalization in swine industry, not just in the management part but in the husbandry part, there would be new people that will be joining the workforce of the farmers, no? The IT people who understands how to run the system, they are the other part of this puzzle. And if they learn how to raise swine properly, their foundation in the digital skills is already there. So that's another streamline of farmers that we have in the future. So by the end of the day, no, we should understand sensors, interpreting readings, questioning data before acting on it. So that's the overview, no. Diyan tayo iikot sa mga discussions natin. Then I'll move on to what is IoT, but before that, let me bring you to the idea of digital farming, no. Ano ba tong sinasabing digital farming? So mostly naman we are familiar na or narinig na natin yung idea na may mga farm na air conditioned or controlled environment, they control everything, no. So hindi naman kaila yung mga teknolohiya na yan ngayon, yung mga tunnel technology natin sa livestock, no, ginagamit natin yan sa swine, ginagamit natin yan sa poultry. Ang kaibahan lang sa mas bagong approach ngayon is it is using Internet of Things. It is not the mechanized automated electronics, no, na may mga malalaking control box. What we have now is small devices, no, na interconnected through a network, no. It could be a local network and a Wi-Fi, or pwede din siyang i-share palabas sa remote if malayo ka dun sa farm mo. For example, you're traveling or wala ka dun sa vicinity ng farm. So that's what we are using, no, yung IoT. So ano ba tong IoT na to? So usually nakikita na natin yan sa everyday life natin, yung mga smart devices natin, no? So IoT simply means devices that measure something, no? It shares data, it collects data, and it allow action to be taken. No, in a daily life, no, we use IoT through like smart thermometers, may mga fitness trackers tayo, you know those watches that can smart watches, no? They are IoT devices. No, we have smart lights, yung pag pinalakpakan lang natin, or we talk to the smart speaker, si Siri. So those are IoT smart devices, no? In farming, IoT means sensors that monitors conditions continuously. So there are devices like thermometers that it actually monitors environmental conditions. So no, that's how that's the heart of IoT in farming. No, so not just when someone is present, continuously. So these sensors track temperature. No, it tracks humidity, sounds and feeding conditions in real time. So the goal here is early warning, no? Early warning na awareness. Hindi yung sobrang lamig na ng panahon bago natin malaman, no? There will be monitoring, there will be thresholds. So I'm sure some of us has tried using those new CCTVs, no? Mga CCTV camera na you can control from your phone, na pwedeng gumalaw, rover na siya, and you can record. So yung mga tindahan usually may mga ganon. So those are IoT devices, no? Smart IoT devices. So hindi lang siya natatapos doon sa mga CCTV. Merong mga humidity sensor, may temperature sensor, may mga power management switch na pwede mong gawin from your phone. So from that, no, hindi naman yung devices na yun ang nagmo-monitor mismo ng health ng livestock. But yung mga nakukuha na information from the Internet of Things, no, yun yung bumubuo ng mga decisions para magkaroon ka ng isang method ng pag-aalaga ng baboy. Which is, ito yung fino-focus ngayon ng ITCPH in partnership with KATEC, is the Internet of Pigs. Now, how do we interconnect the livestock using the data that we collected from the sensors around it, no? Halimbawa, paano natin malalaman yung feeding pattern, paano natin malalaman yung mga movements nila, et cetera, et cetera. How do we identify each livestock? So in an application of Internet of Things partnered with proper understanding of the output data, of the collected data, becomes Internet of Pigs, no? And it is swine husbandry process method partnered with technology. So this is a very technological approach that ITCPH and KATEC is partnering now towards implementing a full technological setting. So from understanding IoT, we will understand more how this is being applied, no, to animal husbandry, and how decisions are being made sa idea ng Internet of Pigs. We'll move on to the next slide. If you have questions, later on we'll have an open question segment. So just please park your questions, and kung may mga technical concern, cannot hear me or presentation issues, just raise your hand so that we can tend to the technical needs. Thank you. I'll move on to the next slide. So let's talk about what is a sensor, no? So marami sa atin, we have an idea of sensor, but let's talk about the sensor in a way that it's towards farming, no? So a sensor is a physical device that detects changes in the environment and converts them into data. So it could be a humidity sensor, it could be a light sensor. Minsan may mga heartbeat sensors tayong sinusuot, no? So yung mga Israeli technology natin ngayon ng mga collar ng livestock, those are actually taking in vitals na. So those are smart sensors na nagte-take in ng vitals ng livestock natin. So those are the sensors in the idea of digital farming, no? So it could measure heat, no? Gas concentration, yung you're familiar with the emission testing, no, ng sasakyan. Mini-measure natin yung mga particle, things like that. There are sensors that you can put in a barn then that can measure particles, harmful particles in the atmosphere nung farm. So those are the sensors that we are talking about, no? Sensors do not understand the livestock or pigs per se. It's what I've mentioned earlier. But but getting what the sensor is reading and partnering it with professionals sa field na yon to understand, no, what is ano yung kinalalabasan nila. We created a standard, no? Ano yung mga nakikita dapat sa sensors natin na ibig sabihin nasa mabuting kalagayan yung livestock natin, or as to say it easier is tama ang ating ginagawang digital na pagsasaka. So ano ba ang role ng sensors, no? They serve as the eyes, no? They serve as the ears, no? We are kumbaga hindi kailangan na ang doon tayo lagi, no? So there's an eyes and ears, and the digital barn is enabling monitoring and alerts, no? For example, dito sa aming facility, we have an alert na pagka nawala ang heater, halimbawa na line or lumamig, there is a buzzer na tutunog dito sa area namin kung saan kami nakatira. So that is an early warning na temperature is rising, na parang hindi maaayon. So doon natin siya ginagamit, no? Pagka na-misinterpret natin yung readings ng sensor, or it's misunderstood, or yung sensor ay misplaced, yung entire system, it becomes unreliable. So we will focus on this training on how to identify ano ba yung mga problema ng pwedeng makuha sa sensors, paano yung mga placement niyan, ano yung mga considerations, so that magkaroon tayo ng reliable data. That is the foundation first. No, knowing where to put your sensors is the foundation. It's not about how many sensors do we know, how complicated do we set those sensors, or how do we network them in such a way na may mga gusto na tayong mangyari. That would be on other discussions. Today we will be focusing on making sure that your sensor itself is taking data that we need, no? So where do we put them, and how do we put them, and how do we configure them so that they will provide us the data that we need for agriculture or for swine raising, no? So that's the high level idea of sensors. I will not focus too much on that. I'll move on to the next slide. So before, I think someone is writing on the presentation. There's already a blue and a red. Maybe we can refrain. Baka I'm not sure who has the access, no? But anyway, thank you. So we'll discuss on how it all connects. Kasi kanina pa natin pinag-uusapan yung mga sensors na yan eh. And we have like the mobile phone na nabanggit kanina. So paano ba siya lahat? On a high level, no, hindi na muna natin siya di-discuss ng detail. We'll discuss kung paano sila nag-interconnect, no? So yung sensors collect environmental data from the barn, yan yung unang-unang mangyayari. Tapos smart controllers respond to by operating let's say fans, feeders, and water. So, halimbawa, masyadong uminit, pagka nakita ng sensor yon, paaandarin niya ang fan. So, gano'n yung mga maliliit na component na nangyayari, no? So, nagre-respond siya. So, halimbawa, kailangan niya na magpakain, so lalabas na siya magdi-dispense siya ng feeds, no? So, or water, kung kailangan mong magbigay ng vitamins, minsan i-withdraw mo muna yung water, yung mga naka-automated na pipe, para mabigyan ng chance na makuha muna sila para pag-deliver mo ng mga vitamins na kailangan, um, ma ma-intake ng maayos ng kabuuan ng livestock, no? So, yung mga gano'ng idea, madali siyang i-automate, using, the Internet of Things, no? So, using IoT sensors and, decisions, kung kailangan natin na by this time mag-turn off ang specific, water line and, kung kailan siya aandar ulit, it will be automated at, nakikita natin siya on a dashboard na hindi natin siya kailangang puntahan doon sa mismong babuyan. So, kaya maganda 'to sa mga mahilig mag-travel, sa, mga OFW, yung mga nasa Metro Manila na they run a farm sa mga probinsya, yung mga may mga other work na side business nila yung farm nila. And, this is really good, na foundation para mas maintindihan niyo kung ano ang mga nangyayari sa ating mga, farm kahit na wala tayo doon, 'no. Hindi na tayo magre-rely do'n sa mangungumusta ka sa tao na nagpapatakbo ng farm. So, tayo na mismo, kung tayo ang nag-ooperate, tayo ang owner, we can have, an insight kung ano ang temperatura doon, kung talaga bang lumamig bigla, uminit. Kailan nagpakain, kailan nagpainom, yung mga gano'n lahat na mga information ay nakikita lahat nung, merong access sa dashboard. At kung sino man ang bibigyan ng access sa dashboard na 'yan, multiple 'yan. So, halimbawa sa akin, sa family farm namin, yung entire household namin may access doon. So, kahit wala silang access to modify something, they know that it's alerting or something bad is happening, nag-brown out, things like that, mai-inform nila yung mga taong nakakaalam how to, fix the issue, 'no? So, yun ang kagandahan sa, using the Internet of Things idea. Yung karamihan ng mga architecture ng mga modern, tunnels natin today, someone would still need to be inside the tunnel to operate it. May mga nasa abroad na mga galing na like the Israeli, devices na you can also connect remotely, no, through a laptop or mobile app. So what, we did here with, in partnership natin with ITCPH is we made it Pinoy, design which is, cheaper, no, affordable siya hanggang sa, sa backyard level. So, that's why, it's the Internet of Things na ginamit namin as an approach, that, masyado na silang maraming ngayon na mabibili sa market in the online stores ng mga IoT devices. Though, K-Tech as a company, we are certifying, agricultural devices, no, ng IoT. So, they can all be purchased, sa mga online stores. Mabilis mag-replace, mabilis ang, purchase. And, but, we are, providing a list of, devices that we have tested in our laboratory, no. Ni-test na namin sila in different conditions. So, ngayon, when we all have those, IoT devices installed in a barn, halimbawa sa labas, alam natin ang weather kasi meron din tayong sensor na nilagay doon. Sa loob, alam din natin, we can control the turning off and turning on of the HVAC or the heating, ventilation, the, air conditioning, no, we can have total control. Even yung mga naka-open pa na barn, you can control yung mga electric fan, yung mga power nun kung kailan siya aandar, mamamatay. So, by, just deploying yung mga Internet of Things, no, yung mga IoT devices. So, in some systems, no, yung data flow niya, inaayos na. So, katulad nung dito sa ITCPH where, after collect yung mga data na yon, there is already a model na yung data flow niya ay magiging isang reporting dashboard na on the interest ng mga owners and operators ng farm. So it's more on parang cellphone na lang talaga siya na app na i-open mo, then you see what's happening. So tapos yung entire chain talaga depend yan sa quality ng sensor. Kaya iikot tayo ng iikot at paulit-ulit niyong maririnig sa akin yung quality ng sensor, ng quality ng readings, quality ng data, because that is the most important thing sa digitalization. If we start digitalizing, we should have a trust doon sa data na napoproduce natin. Kasi if we don't trust that data, we won't trust the decisions that we will make. So, very important na meron tayong trust doon sa data, kaya talagang I will put emphasis on it again and again. So I'll go to the next slide. So let's turn the page, no? So this is just empowering farmers, no? So showing you what will happen. There's a smartphone first design, user-centered interface. You can do it remotely. So that's when we democratize the access to the system. So I'm not gonna focus on it. We've been talking about that since slide 1. And then we have smart farming in your palm, no? Real-time monitoring, that's the same, no? We'll focus on the more detailed part. So as I mentioned earlier, we have automated scheduling. There's a threshold alarms, remote accessibility that ensures that farm management is proactive rather than reactive. Then the key idea is control through understanding, not constant manual intervention. That's one word for this slide, no? Then let's talk about the key variables. Ano ba yung mga bagay na binabantayan natin? Kanina pa natin babanggit yan. Yung unang-una dyan is yung temperature, no? When we talk about sensors, we are not measuring everything. May mga finofokusan lang tayo. We focus on variables that directly affect the pig health, no? Yung growth, yung welfare nila. Usually, ang kauna-unahan talaga na binabantayan dyan, yung weather. Temperature is critical, no? For comfort and feed conversion. No, even short exposure sa mga heat stress or cold stress affects performance. So laging ang kauna-unahan nating binabantayan is a temperature, no, and humidity. So humidity influences respiratory health, no? Ang daming diseases na pwedeng mag-spread because of the bad humidity sa ating kulungan. No, high humidity combined with heat can dramatically increase stress risk, no? At mga health risk. Madalas tong nangyayari pag yung mga pag-ulan, tapos naka-close lagi yung mga baboyan natin, tapos hindi maganda ang ventilation, no? Pumapangit ang tumataas yung humidity, tapos nagkakaroon pa ng mga gas na mga hindi naman kaya-aya para sa pag-aalaga ng baboy, no? So yung mga ganon, yun yung mga binabantayan natin. Lagi nating tatandaan na yung temperature, yung humidity, yung mga bagay na nangyayari sa kulungan na yan ng baboy ay nangyayari yan kahit hindi technological, no? Kahit sa ating normal na ano, yung traditional natin na pagsasaka, nandun ang init, nandun ang pagpapalit ng lamig, lahat yan nangyayari. Ang kaibahan lang sa traditional, lahat yan ay pinapakiramdaman ng expert na parang magkakaroon ng ulan or parang mataas ang malagkit ang hangin or basa, no? Lagi siyang gut feel ng isang expert, no? Ang ini-introduce natin dito ay ang paggamit ng tamang teknolohiya para maiwasan natin yung iba-ibang opinyon. Magkaroon tayo ng isang standard na teknolohiya na nagsasabi na ang temperatura na ito at ang humidity na ito at ito ang reading sa ating dashboard, nasa tama ang ating mga alagang hayop. So that's why itong training natin with ITCPH, no, The 6 sessions is a curated information na ng partnership with ITCPH on how to properly identify those parameters, no? But let's always remember those parameters are always there. We just don't have control over it kung traditional tayo. But using the technological approach, we will have the capability to control other parameters and not just monitor them, but control how they would behave, like changing the weather, the climate, changing the temperature, changing the wind flow, and other parameters, no? So, ammonia damages respiratory tissues, no? Hindi maganda ang ammonia. And usually, if it's manual, before we even feel, no, pag tayo ang pumasok doon that there's ammonia build up, the prolonged ammonia exposure doon sa low level lang sa livestock is already been affecting them for days, no, or for quite a while. So malaki na ang impact nun. So with the right sensors and the right variables that we check, or the parameters, then makakabuo tayo ng mga decision points on what to do and what to automate on scenarios. So let's move on to the next slide, no? So that's the key variables in the pig barn. And next is let's focus on the temperature and humidity. Kanina pa natin to naririnig, pero ano ba talaga to, no? Ano ang core function niya, no? Temperature and humidity sensors are the most common sensors in barns and also the most misunderstood. Uulitin ko 'yan. It's the most misunderstood kasi madalas nating nakikita itong mga to na ginagamit for the household environmental sensor, no? May mga thermometer tayo. And pag nilagay natin 'yan sa babuyan natin, laging kung ilalagay lang natin 'yan sa open air. So that's not the right way to do it, no? We have to mimic yung kung saan talaga yung livable space ng ating livestock at kung ano talaga ang experience nila, doon tayo dapat naglalagay ng mga sensor. So that's why it's the most misunderstood. So mamaya i-discuss natin kung paano siniset at nilalagay yung mga yan, no? Ang job nito is to measure not just the air in the barn, no? It measures what the pig actually experience. Yun ang target natin. Hindi lang siya na kung ano yung nandun sa kabuuan ng barn. So placement really matters, no? Pagdating sa mga device na to, yung mga thermal and comfort na monitoring na device, yung temperature and humidity. So accuracy changes over time din. Sa barn, basa, laging harsh yung environment. Nagkakaroon yan ng mga moisture, yung mga sensor rod niya, nagkakaroon yan ng mga build up ng mga dust or ng elements. From time to time, we do clean up sa mga yon, and we calibrate them. So we have a fresh device na maayos, and we always calibrate them. So, sa sensor settings, there will be calibrations kasi usually talaga pag nagde-degrade na yung material niya, if you're using it over the years, hindi naman ito mabilis, no? Over the years na after a year, there would be a small drift in the reading dahil medyo kinalawang na yung ibang mga sensor. We can still recalibrate that para mapunta siya sa tamang setting, no? So that is for the temperature and humidity. Tandaan natin, yan ang heart, no? Kahit na wala yung mga ibang data, kahit wala yung mga movements and feeding, kung meron namang nagpapakain doon, but temperature and humidity is being managed, not just on the monitoring perspective, but also in control. So there will be IoT devices na it can turn off certain power lines or appliances if a temperature is certain point or PID in a temperature is breached, no? So halimbawa, ang target set point natin is 33 degree Celsius, and ang reading natin ay naging 34. And that's hot enough. So there is a device, an IoT device that can trigger uh, the blowers or the fans or the AC to turn on, no? Pag na-breach naman niya pababa yung temperature from let's say 33 na set point natin kanina, naging 32 siya and naging malamig, it needs heating, no? So it could turn off the blowers and probably turn on the heaters. So those decision factors, no, nagagawa siya netong temperature and humidity sensors natin. This is not new technology, yung HVAC na to, pagdating sa mga marami yan, hotels, hospitals, and the big farms. They do have that system that can automate the temperature and humidity control, no? But the approach that we are doing with the Internet of Pigs is using IoT. So these are small devices that's configurable with smartphones. Kaya we have direct control dun sa mechanism ng ating barn. So most of the advanced barns ngayon, mechanized na sila. We are just putting over yung Internet of Things para we'll have the Internet of Pigs process and yung mechanism is being controlled remotely from a cell phone. No, para ka lang nagsa-social media or nag-i-scroll, but what you are seeing is the status of your pigs, no? Ganun yung mangyayari. Para kang nagdo-doom scrolling ka, but you're checking the water level, you're checking the power consumption, you are checking the temperature, the humidity, no? So, yun yung future na ipinapakita natin dito sa technology na 'to. We'll move sa next na mga devices, that would be, the ammonia and gas sensors, no? So, as I've mentioned, ammonia is one of the most damaging and visible threats in the, pig barns. May question po kung meron po bang samples ng sensor for visual reference. I will provide a sample po later, before po may part po, then I will get sample devices that I will show you directly dito po sa screen. Ayan. So, kung may questions po, pwede po nating i-type lang po sa chat and from time to time, I'm checking it po. So, as I've said, no, levels above safe threshold ng ammonia, no, we can monitor that, and the big farms naman, they're already monitoring that. But the mechanism, as I've said, is electronics, no. So in our approach, we have the Internet of Pigs, driven by the IoT devices, so we can do mitigations on the airflow. For that matter, no? So placing sensors too high creates a false sense of safety. Isang malaking bagay yan sa ammonia, no? The ammonia, it's a heavy gas, no? So nasa baba yan. Hindi yan kasama dun sa umaangat ng kusa na mainit na hangin. So kung hindi nadadaanan ng airflow yung isang area, doon nagsisimula yung build up na yan. Those are things na we've proven by looking at data sa mga corners, by putting sensors, no? Because we always wonder, halimbawa may isang corner sa isang barn na parang siya lang yung naiiba doon na hindi maluwag. So lalagyan namin ng sensor yon and titingnan namin kung kumusta ang hangin doon, kumusta ang temperature, so that we can mitigate, no, para maging kakaparehas yung climate sa buong area. So those are active research na ginagawa namin, but we already have a design na kung papaano yung isang modern panel that we are building now in ITCPH. So yung mga gas sensors na yan, talagang nag-accumulate yan. So laging nating babantayan yung level ng sensors. Yun ang unang-una nating titingnan dyan, and mas madalas natin yan nilalagyan ng maintenance, dahil yan yung mas nadudumihan doon sa level ng ating livestock. So may mga scheduled na, usually sa amin meron kaming weekly maintenance, no. We're checking kung ano yung mga pwedeng mga nadumihan na ng mga sensors, etc. We can hindi natin pwedeng pabayaan yung mga yon the entire cycle. So para laging ayos ulit ang data, no, na ating nakukuha. So next would be the load cells, no, for feed monitoring. There are several ways on how to monitor and check the feeders, no, the loaders and their automated loaders. Meron tayo ngayong kung iisipin natin ang mechanical industry natin, we have the pneumatic, yung it's being injected by air. There is the auger type, it's being spinned by an auger wire, no? Meron ding mga may mga ano din na feeding cells na mga it's gravity designed na while they're consuming it, the semi automatic, no, bumababa yung feeds. So there's what we call load cell, no. It's like para siyang timbangan na digital siya na hangga't nababawasan yung amount nung feed sa isang container or isang silo, no, it depends sa scale. So in a small scale, no, halimbawa if you have a bin na meron siyang container ng feeds, that container, that weight is being measured by the Internet of Things, no, para yung constant na kain at nababawasan yon, nagkakaroon tayo ng graph sa curve at nakikita natin na what is a normal na eating behavior nung livestock. Tapos doon din sa bin na yon, no, sa loading cells na yon for feed monitoring, meron din yang mga ear tag na katulad ng ginagamit ngayon ng Internet of Pigs ni ITCPH, no, na there is it can be sensed by an RFID para pag lumapit naman yung livestock doon para kumain, pwede nating ibangga yung consumption ng feeds doon sa length na kumakain yung isang livestock. So sobrang simple na approach from putting a scale doon sa kainan nila, tsaka doon sa timing ng paglapit nila doon ay nakukuha natin. We can actually identify kung sino yung mga pigs na malakas kumain, sino yung nangtatamlay ang pagkain or hindi lumalapit doon sa load cells na yan sa feed monitoring. So those are high levels, no, na how those things work. Pero ang target natin is to collect data as much as possible because if we collect the right data, the right set of data, then we can have the proper or more reliable decisions on what to do. So pag nakikita natin na mas malakas ang consumption sa isang load cell, then we know that we might need to dagdagan yun lagi, or if we are preventing them from overfeeding, pwedeng we have limits and thresholds. So kanina temperature pa lang, ngayon we have the load cells, so we both have those data na. And if for example meron ka netong load cells and meron ka ring temperature data, so you know the consumption of the feeding on a specific range of temperature, no, makikita natin na kung mataas ba ang temperature masyado, hindi natin na-mitigate. Are they eating fast? Are they eating more? Are they drinking more? No? Yung mga bagay na yan, they will start interconnecting. No? Mula doon sa temperature, ngayon there are actions na, and there will be more components doon sa mga binabantayan natin as we go along this training, no? So I'll move on to the next part, no, after the load cells. So we have the PIR, no, or activity sensors. So what are activity sensors, no? It measures movement, no, not just health. It measures movement na it could be sa baka meron yang pedometer, no. Sa baboy naman usually dahil sa nasa maliit lang naman yan sila na area, it could be tracked by RFID, no, na kung nasa ang sensor sila ng RFID malapit, it will be understood na there is movement, no, there is a movement that we can track, no. Changes in activity patterns provide early warning signals. Pag nakikita natin na walang movement yung isang specific na baboy, pwede na natin kaagad yan pagsuspetsahan na may hindi magandang nararamdaman. So early warning talaga siya, yung movement ang pinakauna. Laging binabantayan yan sa tradisyonal na magsasaka, no? Pupuntahan natin, papanoorin ng ilang minutes, no? Hanggang sa makita kung sino ang matamlay. Pero paano kung malayo nga tayo at gusto nating gawing automated yan? So kung yung mga ano lang, ear tags lang ng ating livestock at kung hindi na yan gumagalaw masyado, makikita natin na hindi masigla or walang ginagawa or hindi lumalapit sa kainan. Lagi lang nandun sa isang area. So from there, na-identify natin kung sino, alin-alin yung mga baboy na yon, pwede nating i-segregate na, do checking, etc. Isolation na kaagad para mas maintindihan kung ano ang nangyayari sa kanila bago pa natin makita ang mga sakit, no? So, very important itong early warning, no, sa welfare ng mga sensor na ito. So, from feeding, sa gates, kung alin yung mga yung mga ano na nanay na baboy, kung nakakapasok lang ba sila sa area kung nasaan yung mga biik nila. Yung mga PIR sensors na yan, yung nagsisilbing parang key card nila para makapasok sila sa mga area na dapat sila lang ang makapasok, no? May mga pwede nating kung magkakahalo ang ating livestock at meron kang mga pinapakain na halimbawa, nagpapagatas na mga inahin at kailangan iba ang kanyang feeds, puwedeng sila lang yung mga nagpapagatas ang makapasok dun sa mga certain area gamit yung mga PIR tags nila. Yan ang napakagandang sinimulan ng ITCPH by using the devices para sa Internet of Pigs. They are starting to collect huge information na on the movements at yung pagkakasalin-salin ng mga tags na yon. And that is a very good way to start the technology, no? Yung una sa behavioral, para yung mga ear tags na yan and para makilala sila for inventory, no, sa buong life cycle nila. And we can do a lot more doon sa situation na yun given the data and the devices na installed, no? So kung kailangan nating mag-brooding, so only the livestock na kailangan mag-brooding yung makakapasok sa mga brooding area, there would be automated gates, things like that, no? So clear tayo dito sa PIR sensors, no, activity sensors. Hindi to natatapos dun sa mga RFID. There are PIR activity sensors na pedometer, meron ding mga ngayon very high-tech na but we are not yet adopting that, yung injectable na siya ng mga capsule na nakakakuha siya ng mga vitals, fertility cycles, etc., temperature nung livestock. It's not part, but the devices are becoming more cheaper today that we'd probably be able to start researching on those smaller activity sensors, no? But for the most efficient and cost efficient approach, the RFID is the best, no? Sa kung based on our experience, it's cheaper, it's easier to deploy, it's easier to maintain, and kitang-kita niyo naman talaga kung nagkakaroon ng movement yung livestock. So I'll move on to the next slide, no? How sensor accuracy work. So kanina sabi ko, understanding drift, calibration, and response time. So drift is a gradual deviation caused by aging, no? Aging, environmental factor, wear, etc. So we do calibration to correct the drift by comparing sensor readings against references values, no? So may mga reference sensors tayo. Then the response time, no, check natin kung mabilis pa ba nagfa-fluctuate yung sensors natin, kung ilang seconds ba or milliseconds yung fluctuation ng pag-write niya ng data. And placement errors, no, condensation, electrical noise. So yun ang mga nagiging problema ng sensor natin. Minsan nasa tabi ng sobrang lakas na power line, medyo na ano yung sensor natin. So accuracy is not a fixed property, no? Lagi nating tatandaan sa sensors at sa Internet of Pigs, accuracy, no, it's not fixed. It doesn't mean that we feel that the data now is secure and accurate, that it will be forever like that. It is being maintained. It's being checked, no? Parang sa kotse may preventive maintenance, no? So, then I'll go to the next slide. Sensor placement principle. What are the principles, no? No, sensors must represent what the pigs experience, no? Not the average barn condition. Pag pumasok tayo sa barn, mararamdaman natin yung climate doon. It's not what the livestock actually feels, no? What they actually feels is a more different climate. Nandun sila sa mas baba, no? Some experts, kung makikita natin sila doon sa climate management and understanding, umuupo talaga sila at pinapakiramdaman nila yung level ng livestock. Nandoon yung kailangan nating maintindihan na climate, no? Part nung pag-create natin kung you're having an HVAC system, an automated climate control, nasa taas lang yung airflow niyan usually, and may maliit na airflow sa baba. But those are engineering parameters na. But the real concern that we want to know is yung level ng livestock natin, no? So very very important 'yon. Kung kailangan nating lagyan ng guard yung sensor natin para hindi maabot ng or hindi nila magalaw, mapaglaruan, puwedeng gawin 'yon, lagyan ng grills, etc. But the sensors should be placed among the livestock, no? That is a very important reminder pagdating sa placement principle, no? Dapat we avoid yung nandun sa mga linya ng mga power, yung may mga katabi ng malalakas na heater na umiinit doon, nag-i-impact 'yon sa digital sensing, no? Using multiple sensors is a very good practice. Hindi naman gano'n ka-expensive 'tong mga sensors na 'to, you can check them later sa mga online stores. There's better confidence kung may redundancy siya. Kung dalawa ang sensor na nakalagay, you always know if the other one is drifting or the other one is malfunctioning, no? So more sensor, much better. Then let's move on to common sensor placement errors, no? Parang dagdag lang din to kanina. So too high or too low, sensors placed too high or too low misrepresent animal conditions, no? And then sensors near fans or heaters experience artificial readings. Pag natututukan yung sensor ng fan, alam niyo yung feeling na yung after niyong maligo, tapos dumaan kayo sa electric fan, tapos you feel na sobrang lamig na tumatama yung wind, no? That chilling effect, that could happen to the sensor as well. So kung nakatapat siya sa sobrang mabilis na flow, nagkakaroon siya ng sarili niyang microclimate dun, and it would read a bit different. No, mas maganda kung nandun siya sa medyo sarado, or minsan we've just blocked the airflow sa tapat ng sensor para hindi direct air yung nakukuha niya, no? Hindi direct flow. So mas nakukuha niya yung stagnant na air dun sa specific na location na yon. So yung exposure to moisture in the feed does degrade sensor performance. So hangga't maaari, kung kailangang ilagay sa malapit sa feed bin yung mga sensors, lagi nating bigyan ng maintenance routine, no? If it's every week or every other week, it's best na hindi naman kailangang kumpunihin, kailangan lang i-check, punasan or tingnan kung naka-align pa ba siya ng tama. So relying on single sensor for large areas creates blind spots. Yun ang lagi nating tandaan. Kaya scalable ang design ng KETech solution is because we can network more sensors, no? Magdadagdag ka lang na magdadagdag ng sensors. If you feel na dun sa area na yon ay hindi mo naiintindihan ng climate, then you can put another sensor there and it will add up dun sa ecosystem ng binabantayan nyo. So you can also remove the sensor, transfer it to another place kung hindi naman gano'n kadami yung mga sensor natin. So for the most sensor failures, laging yung installation ang dahilan diyan, hindi yung hardware. Ilang beses na namin nasubukan na maglagay ng sensor sa what we think is best na paglalagyan ng sensor kasi nandun yung pinakamaayos na hindi siya moist, hindi siya magda-dust, hindi siya maapektuhan ng mga nakakasirang environmental factor. But that's not what the livestock experiences, no? So when we tried that in a laboratory experiment, we were sure on the results. Now it's taking a different measurement. The livestock is experiencing the dust of those feeds, no? It's experiencing the wet environment pagka bumubukas yung mga water line. It's experiencing the stagnant na hangin dun sa baba kung hindi siya naaabot nung flow ng air, no? What the livestock experiences, ganun dapat ang ma-experience as much as possible ng ating mga sensors para hindi siya mag-fail, no? Kaya walang perfect reading kasi if we are the eyes and ears na kasama nung swine doon sa pen, and those are digital, hindi siya katulad lagi nung nararamdaman ng baboy mismo. No, there are other approach on that na hindi natin i-cover dito by using AI, no, to understand animal behaviors, no, na nakadugtong doon sa IoT. But that's a different approach. Just to mention it, in the in the broiler production, we are already able to make them to detect the sound of broiler if they're in a good condition or they're distressed. So by using artificial intelligence, and we are going to deploy that for swine very soon. But in this discussion, we are not incorporating the artificial intelligence yet. But as much as possible, it is very important that the sensors are experiencing the same as what the livestock is experiencing, no? So we're almost done. Issues, high humidity, talagang kailangan may mga sensors na nandun sa humid area. So hindi talaga natin pwedeng iwasan yan. Dust and feed particles, hindi natin pwedeng iwasan yan. So we need to do maintenance on those. Loose connections, laging naglalaro ang ating livestock at laging may moving components, kaya nagkakaroon ng mga loose connection. We have electrical interference, so nabanggit ko to kanina. So usual yan. Along this course, we will tell you on how to place them properly, no, sa mga susunod pa nating discussions. So a new vision for agriculture, no, ito yung natapos na tayo sa part na we introduce the sensors, ganyan. Ipapakita ko na lang siya in a bit. So ano ang environment sa barn na tina-target nating i-measure at ano yung mga pwede nating magawa sa mga na-measure natin. So modern agriculture blends tradition with measurements lang. Hindi natin siya pinapalitan, no? Experience, no, remains essential, no? But it is very important na nakakapag-strengthen siya ng experience ng swine or ng any livestock kasi meron kang insights ng data. Connected system allow people outside traditional farming backgrounds to participate responsibly, no? Kahit yung mga nagche-check lang dun sa app at tinitingnan ng health, no, kahit na hindi sila indirectly involved dun sa pagpapalaki, pwede silang maging mangumusta, no? Makita nila yung kalagayan. This creates a new pathways for livelihoods, no? Sustainable farming practices, no? Sa mga co-op, may isa lang kayong system, tapos nakikita ng lahat. So ang daming mata na tumutulong para sa pag-aalaga. So that's the new vision. Online na tayo para sabay-sabay nating makita, di ba? Kung sino ang mga dapat lang makakita. May mga restriction din naman. So I will pause sa questions. Give me 1 minute. I will just pause the video and I will get the device. One of the very important device sa ecosystem namin, no? Before we go to the proper questions and question and answer.
Sige lang, sir. Ayan, ihanda nyo na po yung mga tanong nyo habang kinukuha ni sir yung device na ipapakita niya sa inyo. And I will be reminding everyone po na rin habang nandito na before our question and answer na may ibibigay po kami na link mamaya for evaluation. So, for those may mga and then dito po kayo nagsusubscribe ngayon, dito po kayo naka-tune in, then kailangan nyo lang pong sagutan yung evaluation link mamaya para po mabigyan namin kayo ng certificate. So again, you have to be registered and kailangan po masagutan nyo yung aming training evaluation po. Okay po? So yun po yung mga kailangan yung gawin for you to be able to avail our certificate. So meron pa po bang mga tanong dyan? Ihanda nyo na po habang inaantay natin si Sir Carlo to get yung kanyang device. Ayan. So meron na po ako ditong nakita na isa pero ipasok nyo lang po dito lahat. Mamaya po iisa-isahin natin to. Even our Facebook live po, naka-tune in din po ako doon. So you can also ask question there and titingin din po ako from time to time sa ating Facebook live kung meron po kayong mga questions. Okay po? So yan, meron na akong 3 questions dito sa isisend na mamaya dito rin po, isisend po namin dito sa meeting chat, dito po sa ating chat, dito po ako hinga. Hindi na po tayo magbibigay ng recorded kasi pwede po nating balik-balikan via Facebook page yung ating training kasi naka-live stream po tayo. So, yun po ay hindi naman namin tatanggalin doon sa ating FB page po. Yes, nandiyan na si Sir Carlo. Okay na po ba tayo?
Opo. Naririnig niyo
Yes,
po ako?
go ahead.
Ayan. So, usually, kung hindi webinar, no, we do it dun dito sa atin sa ITCPH. We have like a laboratory demo. So, we have an opportunity to feel, touch the devices, and control it, set it up, no. So, but now, I'll introduce you to this device, no. It's actually the brand is Inkbird, no. It is a PID device, smart PID device, no. What it does is meron siyang dalawang screen ng reading. So there will be a target temperature and the current reading. So yung target temperature, if the target temperature is set to 30 degrees, for example, no? Let's just set an example. 30 degrees yung nakalagay sa target. There are 2 power outlet na nakadugtong sa kanya, no? I'm sorry, the background of my is nag-aano siya. But I'm trying to show it, no? So may dalawang saksakan, no? Isa diyan ay may nakasulat na cooling, ang isa ay may nakasulat na heating, no? Whichever is needed, no? Pagka doon sa halimbawa sa 33 na reading dito, na target ay na-detect niya na mataas sa 33, for example, and it needs cooling, the line for cooling here will turn on. So kung ganoon, pwedeng nakasaksak dito yung mga electric fan, no, yung mga cooling devices, yung mga ventilators, no? And pagka bumalik ulit doon sa normal temperature, magto-turn off ulit yung cooling na line. So mamamatay yung mga electric fan. No, mas tipid siya sa kuryente kasi there's what we call the idle state, na hindi lahat ng devices ay umaandar, no? Yung mga heaters, yung mga coolers, naka-idle sila lahat kasi perfect yung temperature. So, or yun yung target na naaabot without the help ng technology or ng mechanical, no? So, the same thing dun sa heating. So, if you're brooding, no, kailangan mo ng heater dun sa isang area, you can put the heater dito sa linyang to, no? Even for small scale, no? We can use it para kung gusto mo namang pagtanghali na at sobrang init, mga electric fan mo ay naka-connect dito. We've tried several electric fans, 10 amperes ang kaya ng device na to. So It takes a lot of load, no, for a small device. Tapos, there is a wire na mahaba siya, 2 meters na sensor, no. This sensor wire comes in different uh, lengths. Pero there is a consideration sa pagbili ng length neto kasi you should calculate yung tamang resistance. There is a discussion about that on the later part, no. So this is the sensor. We usually hang it at lagyan lang siya ng protection ng covering material. Then it's taking the real time data nung temperature. Okay? So there is another na ganito, same brand, humidity naman yung kina-capture niya but works the same. No, meron din siyang on and off ng dalawang outlet na nagpapalitan siya kung kailangan palamigin or painitin. So by just using a simple device like this, no, magkakaroon ka na ng somewhat control dun sa environment mo na mas tipid. Hindi yung buong araw nakababa yung heaters mo, di naman kailangan nung tanghali, no? Mga ganong scenario, nagto-turn off siya kusa. So, may nagtanong saan daw po pwedeng bumili, nasa Lazada po ito. Hindi po ako binabayaran ng Lazada, pero nasa mga online stores, no? Para maging mas generic lang tayo. Okay? We have devices na binibenta sa KETech, but those devices are retested. Meron na kaming quality assurance doon na it's perfect for the environment na paglalagyan natin. Kasi these are devices na not for farming, no? That we found online and we tested so many devices and found the right devices that could work in agriculture. So there was years of research paghahanap ng mga device, and as we are now helping everyone magsama-sama tayo papunta sa technology na to. We are sharing yung mga information and devices na to. You can actually buy it online, no? But we have a different way on controlling this. Doon sa, syempre, kailangan kumita ng kumpanya namin. So we have another way of controlling this na mas efficient siya, mas automated. So that's the enterprise part namin. Okay? So before I go to the next device, no? I'll go to the next device na pala. Ito, next device is an 8-in-1 air sensor or particle sensor, no? It checks the particle PM1, 1.5. It checks for bad gases around. Hindi ko na siya iisa-isahin. But hindi pa siya ammonia sensor, no? The ammonia sensor is deployed kasi, so I don't have it here. Ito naman ay, itong small device na to is quite small, no? That you can plug in dun sa loob ng mga appliance. It can control a power line, no? Up to 10 amperes. May idea kayo what is amperes doon. But the usual load ng mga appliances natin ay kaya neto, sa madalit sabi. So, meron siyang mga para lang siyang switch na ilalagay mo doon yung line, and prepare mo to sa cellphone mo to na parang nag-prepare ka ng earbuds sa Bluetooth, ganyan. Pag na-pair mo siya sa cellphone mo, may app siya, then you can start controlling na mako-on and off mo tong device na to from your phone. So whatever appliance is connected to this device, nako-control mo siya online, no? So yung mga heaters, feeders, utility lights, etc., you can use this para makontrol. Yung simple na lang na paggising po sa umaga para maglakad kayo papunta sa inyong babuyan para patayin niyo po yung mga ilaw, ay mariresolba po ng napakaliit na device na ito. Para pagising nyo, mag-i-scroll na lang po tayo sa social media, no? Kasi we can also automate things using this device. So, pag tumuloy-tuloy tayo sa talk na to, sa mga next episode, we'll have more discussion on how this device will work and the configurations, no? I will share paano siya ginagamit. Okay, so I think those 3 devices can may mga questions pa ba tayo? We're good with the devices.
I'll read the questions na lang po for you kasi merong mga nasa dulo na. Sir, So we're in a Q&A na po. Ano sir, paano daw po ba yung calculation ng area cover ng sensor or indicated po ba siya sa specific ng sensor?
Sa sensor technology talaga, we don't really put calculation ng coverage ng sensor. Merong coverage na sinasabi yung mga sensor doon sa kanyang design. So yun lang yung sinusunod natin. If we're using a sensor na ang coverage niya is let's say 1 foot, usually yung mga weather or mga climate sensor, hindi naman nagko-cover ng malaki yan eh. It's covering yung direct na nandun sa paligid nung niya, ng tawag dito, ng sensor niya. But using graphs, no, pwede naman nating kung maglalagay ulit tayo ng sensor sa kabila at kabilang sensor, nalalaman natin kung magkakaparehas ba sila. So doon natin nalalaman kung ang isang sensor ay kaya niyang mag-cover at least 1 meter na radius or 1 foot lang. So there are certain sensors. Kaya kung nagsisimula pa lang kayo at you don't have the right engineering mindset on how to calibrate those sensors together, ang pinakamaganda talaga is just to put more sensors. Wala naman siyang wala naman siyang masamang impact, no? Kung kaya niyong bilhin yung small na cheaper sensors at distributed, makikita niyo if pare-parehas yung readings nila. So, until sa magbawas kayo ng magbawas, et cetera, gamit niyo naman yun sa ibang building niyo. So, gano'n yung mga simple na paraan, no? Lalagay ka ng marami para maniwala ka sa mas marami, then paliit ng paliit hanggang sa makita mo kung stable na siya by just 2, 3 sensors, no? The 50 square meter swine house and also another 50 square meter poultry house na ino-operate namin dito is actually just using one sensor, no? Nasa gitna nun. Kasi alam ko naman na yung distribution nun, it started from 9, no? Naka-distribute sila. When we are sure na yung wind flow at yung lahat ng environment ay pantay na siya dun sa aming calibration, nagtira lang kami ng 3 sa gitna. Hanggang sa isa na lang yung itinira namin. Kasi we already know na yung calibration ng equipment namin on the temperature control can manage ng fair na buong climate sa lahat ng corners, no? But kung hindi natin nare-resolba yung pantay-pantay na temperature at weather sa maliliit na corner, kahit sa tig-iisang di pa lang distance, ibig sabihin nun may mga dead spot tayo, may mga eddy ng hangin kung tawagin na hindi dinadaanan ng ventilation nyo. Kailangan muna natin yung ma-solve, no? Na mapagdaanan ng hangin yun, expose yun ng airflow. Kasi doon magsisimula ang build up ng kung ano-anong mga bad gas, gaseous natin. At doon nagtatago ang mga alaga natin na masama ang pakiramdam. Lalo silang na nalululong doon. So lalo sila nagkakasakit. And we've seen that in so many experiments ng behavioral ng mga videos, reaction, no? So very important na maging pantay muna ang reading sa lahat. Calibrated yung mga sensors nyo, pare-parehas sila ng setting, tapos distributed sila properly. Tapos kailangan mapapantay nyo yung readings nila doon. So, kung sa ventilation nyo or whatever. Pero kung goal nyo lang naman is just to get the information, then more sensors is good. No? Kuha lang kayo ng information ng kuha. Kasi pwede rin naman yon na halimbawa kayo, you want to go to technological, no? Open barn kayo, ganyan. At muna yung pwedeng gawin, sensors na kaagad. So that you understand na pag tag-araw pala, ganito kainit ang nangyayari doon sa babuyan, no? Na wala pa lang galaw ng hangin, etc. So you will start to understand why we introduce appliances, no? Sa barn, may mga ventilator yan, may mga nagki-create ng moisture, ng humidity para mag-create ng ecosystem, ng environment, no? From there, you will understand kung paano natin siya dadalhin papunta sa tunnel or closed facility, which is very important ngayon dahil sa ating disease control, no? Ang kasama sa aming panawagan ay ang ikulong sa tamang tunnel sa masayang tunnel ang lahat ng livestock para hindi nagkakahawaan, no? Sa ating disease control. So, kung papunta pa lang tayo doon, traditional tayo, sensors ay malaking bagay. Para naiintindihan na natin, no, na kahit manual pa yung pagbubukas natin ng ibang mga bagay, nalalaman natin ang tunay na nangyayari, remotely or nandun tayo.
Okay, sir.
Nasagot po ba yun?
Nasagot naman po, no? Another question, sir, dito from RT Mojica. Pwede din po ba yung manual switching via remote device like cellphone?
Pwede din po siyang i-manual switch, no? Pag bumili kayo ng mga IoT device, it comes with an app. Para ding pag bumili kayo ng earbuds, no? Or ng earpod niyo sa online. No, pag dumating siya, you pair it with your cellphone. You download an app na galing dun sa manufacturer. And you pair it with your cellphone. And from that device, no, sa app sa manufacturer, there's an on and off. So you can control the device on and off remotely hangga't yung device na yon ay nakakonect sa isang Wi-Fi, no, or sa isang internet. So, may nag-share. Share ko lang po na sensor but not really a sensor but a controller. Kailangan if it will support variable frequency drive, no. Actually, we are not discussing, sir, yung the electrical engineering part, no. The high level of the IoT devices that can control up to around 10 amperes for just the laboratory idea, no, sa mga gustong i-try ito. But building an industrial design, no, katulad nitong nabanggit ni Sir Ace, no. We would need actuators, we would need variable frequency drivers, we would need solid state SSR, no, switches just to protect the circuit, to protect the power failure, sumisipa yung kuryente pabalik from time to time. And for industrial setup, katulad nung sinasabi ko na our design, pagka lumabas yung box namin at bawa chinek nyo yung box namin, nandun na rin yung mga safety, yung mga VFD for variable frequency drives. Electric fan yan, yung tanong ni Sir na sa VFD, no, na control panel. Kung gusto mong i-number 1, number 2, number 3, magkakaibang power kasi yan na feed. So, yung mga soft launch din ng mga equipment, saka soft na pagta-turn off, may mga ginagawa din tayong electrical engineering approach on that, no, sa design. But those are for industrial. Sobrang lalaki or mga if you really want to do fully industrial setup. That's what we are doing in ITCPH. Yung mga system ay may mga fail-safe yan, no? But we don't have to discuss it here kasi lahat ng bagay ng about doon ay electrical engineering part siya. So we are just taking on top of the electrical engineering knowledge and use that electrical setup na, control it with our device at doon lang tayo. Kung kaya nating i-pair sa cellphone natin, we're good enough muna. And we will have more specialized training soon, no? Sa ITCPH.
Pagbalik nila dito, sir, naka-cellphone na rin silang magmo-monitor ng farm ng ITCPH.
Yes. And
of course, we're gearing towards that. Pero, sir, meron pang question dito. Ano daw po yung minimum farm size para maging sulit at magkaroon ng real benefits from the adoption ng Internet of Pigs? May farm size po ba? May backyard level ba ng farm na kailangan para masabi na kailangan nila or talagang magbe-benefit sila if they adopt the Internet of Pigs natin?
The way I would recommend always a 40 level, no, na patabain or growing, no. Iba pa yan kung meron kang na anakin, etc., no. Pero the 50 square meter na space around that, actually kaya na siya up to 40 na kung meat production ang habol natin. That is actually pwede pang hatiin, no, hanggang 20. Pero ang pinakamagandang business, we've been checking models sa pakain, sa lahat, sa timing. Of course, hindi lang to about the infra cost, no? It's also about the operation and kung gaano kabilis mag-ROI. So the 40 heads talaga ang kayang magpa-ROI in the right time, no? In a good business model. Kahit na sa traditional, it's the same, no? Ang nagkaiba lang naman sa atin dito is gagawin nating mas automated, mas precise, no, ang ating pag-aalaga. Pero ang economics nun ay hindi po nagkakaiba dahil maliit lang naman po ang on-top cost ng mga smart devices. Ang nagpapamahal naman po talaga sa atin ay yung infrastructure cost, 'di ba? At yung mga puhunan na baboy. And may ano 'yan, may ibang topic si IPCPH about that, no? Let's stick with the 40 level and nandun siya sa magandang ano. Okay?
Okay, sir, a question naman po to from our FB Live. Yung mga devices po ba na kino-connect through Bluetooth, may range lang po ba siya para ma-monitor at makapag-control din?
Meron yang iba't ibang klase ng approach. There are devices that ipe-pair mo through a Bluetooth pairing, no? But it will ask for a Wi-Fi setting. So iko-connect mo yung Wi-Fi, yung device na yon dun sa Wi-Fi nyo. Once it gets the Wi-Fi credentials at may internet yung Wi-Fi nyo, kahit nasaan kayo, basta online kayo, you should be able to interact with the device safely, no? Hangga't online lang siya. So ang challenge doon is if it's not online, no, yung naka-connect siya sa Wi-Fi na hindi online, can you still control it, no? So there is a solution, KETech solution made it possible to bring everything offline, no? Sariling ecosystem para hindi maging requirement ang internet connection sa lalo na sa mga remote na area. Pero yung raw na IoT devices na mabibili nyo, it would require you an internet connection, no? There is a configuration na it's a KETech secret pa ngayon that can make everything work offline. So that's the need, no, para mapunta doon. And we'll discuss that soon kung bakit kailangan 'yon. Another one is there's what we call hindi siya Wi-Fi, ang tawag sa kanya ay Zigbee. ZIGBEE, no? Zigbee. Zigbee is a wireless protocol. Para din siyang Wi-Fi ng internet natin, but it works on a lower frequency range. No, may sariling Zigbee router na pag doon naka-connect yung mga IoT devices nyo, it spans kilometers away, no? Kasi low level yung signal niya. I don't want to go doon sa deep na nung physics, but pag low ang signal, low level, mas mababa lang yung data na mino-move niya, pero mas malayo yung na-achieve niya, no? Yun yung tinatawag natin ng mga telemetry data. So, kung maliliit lang naman yung information na pinapasa niya, okay lang na low bandwidth siya, pero long range naman. So Zigbee is very good at it, no? Yung mga remote na mga palayan na malayong-malayo kung gusto mong i-control, you can network a Zigbee router in between them at mapapaabot mo yung commands mo.
Ayan. Sir, I think the question is for me. Itong sunod, yung may specific training din ba para sa pag-intindi ng variables? I guess, dun sa ginagawa natin dito, sir, na face-to-face na Internet of Pigs, right? Doon na didiscuss lahat ng ito. Tama po ako, sir, no?
That is another level of topic pa.
Yeah.
We are having, we're trying to have university partnerships, no? Para sa part ng training ng mga ganyan. This electrical part is a very sensitive thing. So we are training now on how to use the system and how we can use the system in a simple form. But creating an industrial grade, no, na may kasamang electrical engineering part, the load balancing, etc. That is a very specialized skill, no? Na maybe I don't know if ATI would cater that someday. I'm not sure then sa Kiatech if we will cater that on a private session someday, but we are providing the training directly to our employees now. No, hindi pa siya for selling or for sharing.
Pag-intindi daw po kasi ito ng variables, meron lang intros dun sa Internet of Pigs na face-to-face, pero sabi nyo nga po, mas deeper pa yung discussion for that. Okay? So as of now, wala pa po kaming for that, both ITCPH and KTech, wala pa po kaming binibigay na training for that, na dun sa understanding the variables in a deeper way pa. Ayan. So, kasi sa Internet of Pigs po namin na face-to-face, siya po ay intro lang. Tama, sir? No? Meron tayong ganun.
Yes, yes po.
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
and
yun,
that level would probably we need to collaborate with something like TESDA or for
yeah.
yeah,
Ayun.
because there
So,
are
as
regulatories on that.
yun. So, as of
Kuryente
now
yun eh.
po, wala pa, pero tingnan po natin. Ayan. Yun po. Meron pa po bang questions? Parang huli na yung nakita ko with that. Calling once, calling twice. Ayan, para tayong nagbibiling dito. Kung meron pa po kayong tanong. Although, si Sir Carlo naman ay makakasama pa natin hanggang April. Kasi lahat ng mga next topic po natin is regarding the sensors, regarding pagdating ng dulo, applications na, no, sir, kung paano i-apply lahat ng mga to, pag maglalagay ka na din sa mga farms mo, ayan. So, yun po. So, meron pa po bang questions dyan? May hahabol pa ba? Ayan, kung wala na po, we are, Sir Carlo, magta-thank you pa rin ako, pero magkikita pa tayo next week. Ayan. Kasi every 2 weeks po, we are conducting our webinar. So, every 2 weeks po, we have our, nakaset po yung ating webinar. So, at for the 6 episodes sa PCPH. Okay po. So with that po, yung atin pong, sir, thank you. Yung atin pong link, evaluation link ay nakapost na sa meeting chat po natin. So make sure po, lahat po ng mga nag-register para makakuha po kayo ng training certificate ay kayo po ay nakapag-evaluate. Again, Sir Carlo, maraming salamat
Maraming
po.
salamat
And
po.
yan po, binibigay ko na po dyan. Nagsisend na po ulit ako. Yes, maraming salamat din po sa lahat ng ating mga participants na patuloy na tumututok sa ating webinar. Huwag niyo po kaming iiwan kasi 20 episodes po ito. So dapat hanggang November magkakasama po tayo. Ayan. Okay. So nire-revamp ko lang po yung evaluation link pero pwede po kayong backread. Pero yan, nire-revamp ko po, sinire-resend ko.